right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Blessings to you on this 6th day, prep day, preparing to enter in to the rest of Yahweh. I wanted to come on and bring good tidings to the family of Yah. But most of all, I want to come on and talk about a few different aspects of restoration that I believe that we may or may not truly understand. And I'm saying this because my heart is really concerned about how the mixture of conversion and restoration of natural branch really view things from their own perspective, experiences, and outlooks. And so that's one of the reasons why I already was planning on, before we really hit COVID and now the inciting of different things that's going to stir up race or race war. I've already was preparing for this next level of O.I.M, which was a series that I did a few years back called Oppressor is Manifested. Most High planted that in my spirit, and I really am seeing, the necessity in us understanding what oppression and oppressor is, because that is a big thing that Yah talks about in the whole of looking at the Nabim, or the prophets, because there are acts of oppression that the Bible really is talking to from a stand of repayment. And so give me 1 second. From the standpoint of repayment that we must give heed to, that we must pay attention to. And so in value of that, then these are the things that we got to talk about, because why would the Most High talk about repayment? Well, guess what? With oppression comes a soreness that Yah is planning on taking from the natural branch, because here, this is what nobody can deny. See, in that soreness, Yah wanted the natural branch to understand that there is a love, and that I was not going to be angry with you forever. Just like there is going to be a rousing or a rising up, that Yah was going to cause in the places where they were scattered. And so I want y'all to hear me good. So in that, it don't matter what type of events take place, whether they be fake news, whether they be inciting, whether they be a part of what we know, the whole scheme of the things, that this is the time of the Gentiles and that they are ruling. So they're doing a lot of different things to keep the people off balance and to stir up people, and so I'm talking to some things, because in the stirring up, it's a good thing, because the stirring up is according to Yah. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I was talking to one of my clients who plays Division I football, and I was talking to him because they are in the process of being quarantined. All right, and they're being quarantined because they put them in workout groups, and they recently found out that there are some who on the team who tested positive for COVID. All right, and then there's more that tested positive, and so the NCAA is ready to sanction any team who has a certain number of players on the team that their team possibly could be ineligible to participate this year because of COVID. Well, guess what? We've been seeing, and we know that they are, that they've been, they've been using this as an opportunity to, raise us from, like they did with the 9/11. We was going from a red alert to orange, yellow, all right, green, back to red, back to yellow, back to red, back to orange. And so this is what's going on. The same thing, meaning that they're changing the fear level. And because we know that there is a plan that is in place to continue the New World Order, to continue this huge change for humanity that they're bringing about. We know that depopulation is a real thing. We know, so it's not surprising to me that I'm able to look up and see what's happening when it comes down to these acts that are taking place. When we see them in the form of when we see them in the form of like what's happening at the university level, because they're going to use every opportunity. Well, just like this thing with George Floyd, we see that it has stirred up much, and the more stays in the news. We see this thing in Atlanta, the more, in Georgia, the more it stays in the news, and so many other things that take place. But it don't matter what the volume of event that it is. Listen to me real good. Listen, because you will miss Yah. See, the Holy Spirit is showing us that the people, the seed is getting ready to be roused up out of the places where they are. Because, see, the more I look, I got some conversations, man, from colleagues, that were, that went to school where I went to school, that, fraternity brothers that went to school where I went to school. And there are some intelligent conversations going on. But here's the bottom line, that everybody is on the same page. They want to know what can be done. And the main questions are being asked, that I know that this is spiritual, is that why has this happened so long? Well, what did Yah say? Well, Yah have already given us an answer. He said in Deuteronomy chapter 4. This has been prophesied. He said, in the latter days, in your distress. Well, guess what? That solves it all right now. He said, in your distress, when all these words come upon thee. Well, guess what? All of these things that he was telling you, that he was going to scatter you among them that hateth thee. All right, so we know that we're scattered among those that hate us. Then what is the magnitude of the event opposed to being scattered among them that hate you, and the heinous and acts of hate? See, slavery wasn't conspiracy. Neither was, the lynching that went on in this country. That wasn't conspiracy. That wasn't, acts of trying to just see, because see, the thing is, the longevity of it is what is why people are asking, why has this happened so long? See, because Yah wanted us to know that the chastisement is of him. See, that's what this is why I'm getting ready to go into O.I.M. the brandishing of slavery and hate. We finna go deep into those things because excuse me, it tells of the thing that the Most High Yah is doing. What is his hand doing? See, and that's what we get ready to talk to, man. I am so excited for this time because, you know, I don't know how, you know, this thing is getting ready to affect people in the ministry, whether you think, well, you know, we're white and we're black, we're one people. We are one people, but I don't want us to get in the way of Yah. See, guess what? Because remember, he talked about this, that he was going to make Israel jealous. Paul talked about that. And so it's why he made the admonishment that when you come in, don't separate yourself from his people. I mean, don't separate yourself from the curses. Don't separate yourself from the efforts that it's going to take, that's going to be needed to enhance what he's doing to wake up the natural branch. Because some people are going to wake up out of the deep sleep and know that Yah was making them jealous. Some people are going to wake up and realize that there was an effort to stimulate them through the hate and the longevity of chastisement that took place. Does this make sense, Gabby, or it don't make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay, well, you know, see, because this is what I'm trying to get across. I don't need no comments. I don't need no extra people telling me that, oh, I get it, I understand. That shit don't matter. What matter is it's finna go forth. We getting ready to go forth in a depth of pointing out. I mean, I've been saving things through my Facebook, through health. I got a health catalog that I've saved on Facebook. I have a catalog that I saved that's called White and Black. And then I have one that's called Church. And I just been gathering all the things that's related to what's in the Word, like white and black, the issue of hate, the things that would arouse and stir up. Because this is going to be to all these people that I know that have questions, that I'm starting to see from, you know, I've been in the way since, you know, end of 2010, the beginning of 2011. Now we're in 2020, and where these people didn't give heed to the things that I said, where Yah has put it on my heart to do an O.I.M. Now we got another talking point that I'm going back and I'm asking, just like one of my frat brothers that's a lawyer. I had him to evaluate just one video, the one with what John Henry Clark pointed out about Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust. Then I put that side by side with that map of Africa and showed where John Henry Clark mentioned where here's one of the areas where the majority out of 42 slave ports, the wider coast had 38 out of the 42 slave ports. That wider coast, or the slave coast, or where it says the kingdom of Judah in there, you had 38 ports where you were transporting slaves to this country and to South America and, you know, Haiti and Jamaica and places like that. So when you see that was on the map, then who are these people? Well, guess what? So now it comes down to, because I'm asking a question, I'm asking them an intelligent question. Why was things in these places perpetuated against these people for centuries? Why? And why are you feeling it? Why are you feeling the effects? Because see, what you got to understand, you who have not felt the effects, You don't know the depth of the effect. Don't even speak to it. You can say, I understand, I get it, I see it, but you don't know. You don't know the pain that I have. And so now I have a relation with these people that I can speak to. I can talk to that because they are listening. See, Pastor Dow said something powerful that I want us to miss when we start getting concerned with events and things that's happening. No. That's it's what I said a long time ago. It's what I said, excuse me, when I was talking to, even when I was at Shofar Mountain. See, I've always sat on this because this is what I first shed tears about when y'all woke me up. When Brother Chris first came into the way, we didn't talk about nothing because I was still in shock and awe that it was something that actually spoke to the in-depth pain that I had in my heart when I first came into understanding the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And so if you go look at all of my messages, I can say 90% plus of my messages are not about Deuteronomy 28 and the curses and being black. I can guarantee you that. But that is one of the things yet that was a part of my awakening. The pain and knowing that, because I had a lot of hurtful things. And see, you know, there's many people that I'm conversing with right now that they just have the same hurt that I have. And the difference between me and them is that their outlet and their understanding of the level of pain that they have according to the longevity of events that they've had in their own experiences, and just as a people, the things that they've seen. It's just like people are tired and fed up, and this is a time for Yah's servants who understand the chastisement, who understand the pain, who understand that what was said in Deuteronomy chapter 4 about in the latter days, in your distress. And I believe that version, that's either in the scriptures or is in the New Standard Revised Version, where it says it in that capacity. But see, this affliction that was going to be in the last days, even that as it was talked about in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 29, I believe, that that time was coming. This is why I'm taking all the whole of those things that I'm showing, I'm laying it out, and I'm gonna really paint it. I'm gonna paint it till it's blue in the face. But it ain't for you, and it ain't against you. It's not against a white skin. It's not against a white brother. It's not against, because again, like I said before, you gotta understand it ain't about race. I'm talking to the pain that's in the seed. So you gotta realize you can't forget about Yah's people, that you can't say that, well, I'm his people now and they are no longer his people. They are his people. I was his people. That's why he woke me up. They just didn't wake up the time that you and I woke up, whether we white or black or Chinese or wherever we at, scattered around the world. So you gotta understand, if you're a convert, you gotta have the mindset of Ruth. I'm leaving my people. But see, yet Israel have not forgot the atrocities of being in, you know, captivity after captivity after captivity. And, you know, when you see people like Stephen, when he was being stoned and he looked up and saw into the heavens, as he was being stoned, he was explaining the longevity of why we patiently wait for Yah to come, because of the foreknowledge we have on how Yah saved us out of these things and what his intent was. Well, here it is. I'm a real true servant of the Most High Yah, ordained and had the horn of oil poured upon my head, with signs and wonders following me as I follow our shepherd, and he followed Christ, and we follow in the thing. See, I'm never gonna get caught up in trivial things, because the importance of what's going on, Israel, is do his servants truly see the form of restoration, and how the form of restoration need to come out in the value of being able to address those things at its height and in the necessary. So we got to address it in the necessary. So when I address it in the necessary, meaning that I got to paint this thing till it's blue in the face, till they have no choice but to hear or forbear what I laid before them. See, me laying before them the fact that they're trying to incite a race war, I know that. We know that. Most of them know that. A lot, like my friend I said that's a lawyer. He know it. He know that they are trying, because you're working in the judicial system, and you are aware. We listen. You see how many people come in on charges, because you're working with the district attorney. So you see how many people come in that are white and black. So guess what? That subject have not gone anywhere in your mind on white and black. You see the level of black individuals coming in on the same charges versus the level of white people coming in on the same charges. And you're seeing outcomes. So we can't erase it. But you also see things that go overboard. See, so that means, guess what? None of those, that don't matter. What matters is that, Joe, do you know that these things are written in the book? This is a part of what's said in Deuteronomy chapter 4, that in the last days, in your distress, in your afflictions, when all these words come upon thee, when you seek for me with all your heart and all your mind, and you shall find me. See, them the things that I got to get my people to see, that, listen, no matter what's real, what's fake, what's, blown up in the media, whatever it is, right now, Pastor Corey, Pastor Dow, and anybody that's operating in the true spirit know that this is our time, that we finna paint this picture till it's blue in the face. Step to the side. Don't get in the way of the train. Don't lay down on the rail of the railroad, because you will get ran over. Don't get in your feelings and emotions. Remember, in 4 Maccabees, chapter 2, it says the law has rule over inklings and emotions, the mind that he gave it, who is ruled by the law. So guess what? And then in getting our people to turn back to that commandment and the law, they got to understand what Yah has shown us. This is what we've been crafted for. We've been crafted to wake up his people. And we have it in us, because guess what? You planted me down you knew me before I was in my mother's womb, but you planted me in St. Louis, Missouri, in the hood, around these people. I've had the same experiences you had, and now you're listening. This is why I got a lot of my friends that I grew up with listening. You see, you still have the spirit of the world in you, so you're listening half-heartedly instead of wholeheartedly. This is why you're not getting it fully. But when enough of this affliction come, you're going to start getting it. My message is not going to change. And when that time come, I would have already fulfilled the assignment to really paint this picture in this next level of O.I.M. And then you're going to really understand. Then you will have been able to have passed this around and had the opportunity to get understanding, so that you get delivered from all these things that is in the world that are holding you captive in bondage to not being able to serve Yah and seek him with all your heart and all your mind. See, that's what the purpose of this thing is. And I'm going to go again and talk to the point that, see, you know, you have, if you are a convert, you have people of your nation, just like it would have been people of Ruth's nation, that you would be able to speak because you understand. You've been there. You've been a part of their rituals. You've been a part of them, you know, keeping certain customs and traditions. And they understand it just like my people understand. See, most of y'all, guess what? How many, watch this, I'm going to speak to this. Watch this. How many of you all that are of another nation that is now converted into the ways of the Most High Yah, how many of you all can speak to being in a black Greek fraternity and have done step shows and have gone on road trips and really understand what that life is? Well, guess what? Then guess what? The gate ain't open to you. You can go stand in there and go preach the gospel and say they just don't get it. Well, is it that they don't get it, or is it that that area is not really an open premise? Because guess what? Even though a lot of people may not, because remember, only a remnant gonna be saved, so a lot of people may not hear out of there. But guess what? I'm talking to people in there that you're not talking to, and you might not be able to talk to. You really won't be able to talk to. And so, you know, I've had people in the last 2 to 3 months open up and confess that the things that I said to them indeed was true. So I want y'all to get ready. You know what I mean? Because O.I.M is getting ready to come on a strong level, man. And I'm really taking my time and working behind the scenes to get that. Because it's time, man. And it's time that we understand what I said. If you have any questions, you know, and really, man, we ain't gonna spend time with emotional things. But if you have any questions, then, you know, I said it here on the video, and I mean what I say. I'm not changing the tune of my drum beat, and I'm not into appeasement. This is not racist. This is not prejudice. I ain't forget about nobody. I have not separated myself from the brothers and sisters I have in the ministry, because I'm getting ready to talk about what you need to come online and know that Yah is getting ready to do a great and mighty thing. He's getting ready to do something great and mighty. And you're finna watch the work of the Yahudim and all those who are called, who were scattered in these four corners, that's going to speak to these issues with truth and fiery compassion. You're getting ready to watch it go and do a mighty work. Israel, y'all be blessed on this prep day. I'm Pastor Corey with the Straightway Ministries. Shalom, shalom.